9-1 distance and midpoint and distance formulas. And distance formulas. Midpoint and distance formulas. Sorry, messy today. Alright, we're going to start with midpoint. And the midpoint is found by saying x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. That is your midpoint. So we're going to do an example. Hopefully you remember this. You are in Algebra 2 now. So finding your midpoint, you should remember this a bit from geometry and algebra. So if I have a line here that is, or line segment that is JK, and J is -1, 2, and K is 6, 1. I've got x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to plug these into my formula, which remember here, x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Don't forget the parentheses. This is a point. Right, so I'm going to say my midpoint of JK is x1, which is -1, plus 6 over 2. And my y value is going to be y1 plus y2 over 2. So that becomes 5 over 2 and 3 over 2. And if we want to rewrite this as mixed numbers instead of improper fractions, 2.5 and 1.5. So either of those would be fine. So let's graph this real quick and see what we're talking about here with midpoint. So we're going to make fairly large units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Alright, so 6, 1, that's K. And -1, 2 is J. So if I was to draw a line here from J to K, and I was to find my midpoint, it's halfway between J and K lengthwise and halfway between J and K vertically, horizontally and vertically. So if I were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're 7 apart. So if I go over 3, 1, 2, 3.5, there's the midpoint horizontally, there's the midpoint, right? 1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5, and then vertically, it's the difference is just 1, so I just go halfway between those two, and there's my point. So let's see, is that point the same as this point? 2.5, 1.5, 1, 2.5, 1.5. So there it is. 2 and 1/2, 1.5 is my midpoint. All right, you try. Find the midpoint of AB. A is 5, 12. B is -4, 8. So use our formula, label first, and then use the formula, and you don't need to graph it, it's okay. But find my midpoint, pause now. All right, you should have gotten 1/2 and 10 for your midpoint. I'll do the work real quick here. I'm going to label first, oops, x1, y1, x2, y2. Add the x's together, 5 plus -4 over 2, and then 12 plus 8 over 2. My x's divided by 2, my y's divided by 2. So I get, uh-oh, did I do something wrong here? Oh yeah, no, that's right. 5 and negative 4 is 1, so that's 1/2. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So my answer is 1/2, 10. Now the last bit of this section is going to be the distance formula. The distance formula you hoped would go away, but it will not. You will use it in pre-calculus as well. Distance formula, the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. That is the distance formula between 2 points. So we have 2 examples here. And these examples are more like word problems rather than just giving you 2 points. So you got to figure out where these points go. So Troy's disc, they're playing disc golf, all right? So we're playing disc golf. I played disc golf once, and it was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Disc golf was pretty fun. All right, so Troy's disc is 20 feet short and 8 feet right of the basket. Putt lands, so he putts it, and it lands 2 feet left and 3 feet beyond the basket. How far did it go? Or we can say how far was the putt. So let's draw a graph here so we can figure out what is happening with this. So we're going to say the origin is the basket. So his first one was 8. We'll just say that's 8, and we'll just say that's negative 20 down here. 8, negative 20. This was the first, this is where he started. And then up here, here's the basket, 2 and 3, so the putt lands 2 left. Oh, did I forget to write left there? Sorry. 2 feet left, so that would be this way, and 3 feet past, or 3 feet beyond, so that would be right here. So down here it was 20 feet short, so that was the negative, and 8 feet to the right. Now we're 2 feet to the left and 3 feet beyond. So this is negative 2 because it's the left and 3 beyond. So this is the end of the putt there. So this is where Troy threw his disc. He missed it by that much. Very close. All right. Now we're going to find, we want to know how far was the putt. What distance is this between the beginning and the ending of this throw? And so we just say the distance equals all of this mess. So we're just going to label these two. And I'm going to label the, it doesn't matter which one you use to be x1s and y1s or x2s and y2s. But I'm going to find it be a little bit easier to start. The start one is going to be x2, y2, and the finish is going to be x1, y1. You can do either one, it's going to be fine, but I have a feeling it might be a little bit easier to do it this way. So, square root of x2 minus x1, so x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. All right, so let's do the inside here. So 8 minus negative 2 is 10. 10 squared is 100. Plus negative 23 squared, I'll just give you that, 529. So I have the square root of 629. If you plug that into the calculator, it is approximately 25 feet. All right. So now I'm going to give you an example to do on your own. You try. Way down here at the bottom. So Sharon hits a golf ball 12 feet. Above hole, 12 feet above the hole, and 3 feet to the left of the hole. Her next putt lands 2 feet above cup. The cup and the hole are the same thing. And 1 foot to the right of the cup. Tell me the distance. Alright, so follow this example up here. You might want to draw this. So 12 feet above, 3 feet to the left. So make your points, find your distance, and pause now. Okay, I'm not going to do this whole thing, but I'm going to say what the points would be. So 3 feet left, so that would be negative 3 for my x value. 12 feet above, positive 3 for my positive 12 for my y value. So I can say that's x1, y1. And then my other point is 2 feet above the cup and 1 foot to the right. So to the right would be a positive 1, above is 2, so this would be x2, y2. So check your points, those points should be good. And this could be x1, y1, and this x2, x1, y, x2, y2, x1, y1. It doesn't matter, you should still come up with the same answer. When you plug that into the distance formula, you should end up with the square root of 116, which is approximately 10.77 feet. And that is 9-1.